himself from last week into this week, the Akasafa Tanker Owners Association, anyone protest no baby I am person could do any almost strike action now, my threaten they could do then we are in deep trouble, and we want to do the necessary conversations. Said the reasoning will prevail. Na yenya around the table na yetimi yedi nkomo. Yes, it Duncan a day na wunim fa sansem we.
Obi, ma menchia. Menchia afi we me ze menchia.
Dabi omaha.
Menchia me nua Bernardo Usun so. Ene ma me ya echama. Omo tie o. Ewie bia omo tie o. Nti ya omo se bo ensem
ma me ya echama. Okay.
And Bernardo Usun, National Chairman for General Petroleum Chemical and Transport Workers Union of TUC.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Obi, Matthew, me area be anywhere mintio.
Yeah, that's it.
And the issue of trucks sent to my main fan to say, minim sent to
FM.
A quite tripa.
Oh, okay.
In fact, even when the project began, me tara konenam ho chairman no so many bon komo. I mean from time to time. Earlier I had wind say okoto trucks. Yeah, the trucks for Central to work. Me butano personally I think so deny
okay.
No truck nothing. But my concern is that Ghanaian businesses are heavily invested there. Now, untimi nye vertical integration as a foreign company. And unti woko anywhere in the world that upstream for no komo o masa pa ne talo ne Cosmos ENI, you know, they have muscle. Say vertical integration ye jaya kono abetu ni crude. Obetu ni crude. On first can see refinery so to me koto FPS obako besi 1.5 billion, 2 billion. Refinery a small job. Kobesi ni refinery. And Kobesi on one filling stations. Now I monopolistic control.
Yeah.
So seamlessly or integrated. Yeah. No at all the trucks. Then nobody goes in there. Until when that entity no decide, they say, look, Pedro, no me de mamo forte, mo se monta ye dumono.
Ye dumono.
And rana MP no make an allusion to cement. Gasem na ding. Sebi minua obi. Man to cement amen go adwuma. Some go adwuma.
Sure.
But so when you do fuel station even ambulance now nipa na yare na wokoto de atumo no. How do they move?
Here fuel.
The doctor cannot move, teacher cannot move, the presidency itself cannot move. Energy is the only driver of the economy. And not long ago around 2015 2016 Ghana who said ujai foreign companies no akase no. In fact, there were companies that came specifically to Ghana. Now the agenda was saying beton girl. Beton girl at the amount. Now Ghana penny for junior one no more look. Economy na no. And run may catch the commanding heights of your economy.
Yeah.
We energy, telecom, services are. In fact, Ebeka are Greek. Now, our services sector. The foreign powers dominated. We or banking and service finance the finance sector. No?
Sure.
Look at the number of foreign banks Eguha. The local banks do not omoko down. Again, Oko Telecom. Nanzeni is Akoto Airtel. But the penetration on the market, the share, So I finish Beswa Obi. Why we see the need depreciating around November, December heavily? No, all the foreign companies, almost principals, they come they buy, they must repatriate those monies. And this is open say we economy ye kakra. You cannot allow every sector of your economy. Over kind say no good for air contact be. Say Chinese for no, almost bar. They say na Chinese for no to market. Air ton kobi. The difference in all of this, and it's a Chinese in any bar or no capital no cover China no, or only 2%, 1%. Cheme bank back one who be nya wokro we mu, who will advance any loan to any businessman in Ghana at less than 30%, and the treasury bill is 33%.
Yeah.
So the banks are doing 40, 45. Now, the Ghanaian people now try to hold your economy together. No, if it gets to a point where we say, look, you hear foreign direct investment to be in your power, we will be integrating the upstream problem now. US, Enya, and if you are an upstream player, exploration and EMP, you stay there. Another entity will come and do their friend is oil trading or no your commercial concern. Another entity will take off the oil marketing. No, somebody else will do the BDC and risk management. Haulage. Suddenly, you wake up. There's a refinery that has come up because refinery na so he saw a business advantage. Now Obi, what kind of MPA letter na say minua dom ene wa share no. Mamemmo minua penyi Mustafa Hamid Abaso. Okay. In fact, you may not like him as a person, but I can put on record say you're far efficient in the work he has done the past few years. Far efficient than oh really? Yes, Mustafa has been very, very, very good. Now he doesn't mind also engaging. The things that his people will tell him that he needs to find out, he will find out. What kind of letter now they are better about or say the company central nor any Chinese concern as an authority. Okay. Say or budget license to go and bring trucks to come and do haulage. One thing with the MPA Act 691, a categorical, you cannot say hold petroleum product, you cannot transport, transfer, you cannot sell or deal in petroleum product without appropriate licensing from the regulator. And any kind of business you would do that has to do with petroleum products, the regulator would have to be put in the know. And to say maybe yet haulage companies, you know. They all go back to MPO trucks. Every year, MPA will have to. Do the re-licensing, recalibration, tanks. They must check.
Audit and see say BBI
come up. Now, Sabi, me know what I say. The Ghanaian indigenes, over 5,000
trucks.
And almost to me, we to 2, we to 3, we to 1. Every single day in Ghana, over 200 of these trucks on your roads. You load it. Because you need to distribute the product from Tema to the Abeko, Takra, the Abeko, where Central Abeko, the Abeko Elubo, Obi. Look at the general safety of these trucks over the years. It's been very optimal. 200 every day. No, over nothing really significant. Even in Europe, they still have those accidents sometimes. They can move to 100% safety if they can, but that will take experience and time. Suddenly, Yakosi Refinery, which is 100% Chinese from what I know, because I have indicated I am not speaking from a novice point. I know what is in there. Enra, I won't go bit sending message on look, he does on Tunebo.
The chairman say he is open for.
You see, may come MPA letter, no. In fact, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, as of a way, the voice at Tumu. As I speak with you, there's actually a meeting ongoing. A very disturbing issue, but tanker owners union now. It will sound as though or more business interest. So we should not listen to them. But a very dire assessor if we allow what Centro is doing. I'll go and bring maybe a Russian partner who has some 10 billion. Now I taught the entire petroleum chain sector and hold you guys to ransom. That's simple.
But what is wrong with what Centro is doing? Yenim say Centro, a Chinese investor, Wabagana, when you have the right licenses, SC a refinery. Is it a refinery that wrong? And I say a day na Centro wrong.
Okay, Obi, there's a lot of issues about the refinery itself. In fact, earlier there were issues of say no person or the refinery
Okay.
Nankonfa honye a depot. Those were rumors you hear in the circles. Napomo etna said they won't sell. They are not going to do that. Well, the reason they won't sell is because you vest every single thing in your downstream, into an individual. Once that is done, the danger you create is that the day that individual decides that look, my fuel stations in the Karamin to be, and ne osi market now better. Okay, there's people who have built their stations. Or form a good man. The moment I obe allow, so we see refinery area. Also, no MPA statement no indicates a certain bad thinking. The Ghanaian system, I aware and no toward no. In fact, other depots in the water man, they all do bottom and top loading.
Yeah.
Until trucks no do one a top load. Or a cigantry honor no. Now yeah the awareness so then they fill it. Central decided to oil bottom loading in Kwan. When he does that, over 5,000 of the trucks in the system would simply not be able to go to Central to work. Well, oh yeah, no, on him deliberate. Oh yeah, no, what's I why not use or the 1,000 trucks a good system nimo till or capture that sector of the market strategically.
College sector, no?
Or capture, in fact, the entire downstream. In fact, why the refinery? Why didn't Tor buy their own trucks? What I say? It could have been a good business for them. But once they do, when Tor itself decides a policy from the top, send the trucks and then petrol. So you would need to, allow. That's why MPA is there to license every stream. MPA say you had a license to do A, B, C, D. Yeah. You have not come to them for a license to bring trucks. A categorical, a emphatic. Say you've not come to them for license for trucks.
But is the MPA saying say, Omaye omo research and who say company na edit trucks ne buy no. Because ye nim say Emran and Makwain say 100% foreign owned entity emra into the haulage business. Is the MPA saying say from their checks company na car trucks the same company as refinery
In fact, Obi, there are pictures me no be share. The trucks are already branded from source.
Yes, I've seen it.
Plus.
I've seen it
from source.
Yeah.
I am also putting on record, say I am aware that even taxes on these trucks are questionable. I'm putting on record. In fact, there's been some request back and forth for even tax waivers to send to tax waivers. You may go into that fully if you so decide. But what it will mean is I say, Obi, when I okobo brabina was when you $20,000, okoto truck, o de buyer, tema port say to your $10,000 duty ma buying because a buyer would need to do developmental work. A foreign partner has brought trucks 350. The intention, I'm told, is to do about 1,200 trucks over a period, maybe 1 year. 350 nearby, we are not aware within the industry. Set taxes have been paid on them. So if the taxes were being paid, again, they would have applied to the NPA. So would be a Juma specific. A Juma nowadays, and you soon now the best up, and then you bitumen now the best up. A petroleum haulage. When they were asked what they wanted to do with it, I'm told. Say almost the quiet depot to depot transfer. And you are not a depot, we are a refinery. You can have your own little depot there. But if OMC is never top product, it is for them to assign the haulage companies to come in. But now, it is meme trucks. And you see, I expose a thinking. Initially, OC refinery, or you are aware said the Ghanaian system, your top load and bottom load. While restricting it to bottom load.
And who gave him the permission to do that?
One of the things I may request the NPA to ensure they get to the end of, send to obey Juma properly. They must work with our laws. The laws will not be twisted to favor them. Because the other depots in the waterman, Chase in the Adia, Temafuo company, TFC near Adia, they could equally have come and said, they are bringing their trucks. So then, Obi said, what could you loan or bank be now the Kotoya? Because of certain economic, practices, you, the business person, cannot come to that depot. So when they say, I'm a chaser, who Jai sent to her, you know what Chase would also do? Chase would also go and modify trucks and say, so on the oil side loading, on your bottom loading, or oil side loading. No, it's not Copec specific trucks they are begumo. So then those who have taken loans from the banks, they are tossed our trucks. The banks will now have to go down again because Central has come with a refinery. Stick with that thing. So that you don't sound as though say be hiding behind Ghanaian say be front men. Again, also unveil companies or more structures.
Yeah.
They can put a Ghanaian up front. Maybe Kweku or Albert or
course,
John.
Because a must. Because if the haulage subsector no is reserved for Ghanaians, and the definition of what a Ghanaian company is, no, and Rana say a matter of law, and lawyer Jantua Emayehui say when a Ghanaian has controlling stake in the business. 51 and above. In this yenya Ghana Nibia was 51. Yabema 51. And then 49 no a bit my foreign partner. But from our research, no, are you getting the way say 49 or less, no? Sent to for one share no.
You see, Obi, I have told you from my research, my background asking, those trucks were not brought in for any Ghanaian to work with. Refinery now in Adrian said, or they were picking a product.
Or no any product.
No, or their supply. He has seen a business case. Don't underestimate Omo intelligence.
Sure.
And say their craftiness.
Sure.
Well, who a business case? Okay, refinery is or yet normal tolling po. Or be the crude the bar. Now or tolly at even $5 or $10 a barrel.
Yes.
Now a month utimiye be 400,000 barrels times 5. That's $2 million. So our business case for the refinery. So our business case for the haulage subsector. So Jaya, what it would now mean is that we're free refinery, no, to the haulage space.
Yes.
Trucks and there. That person also would be able to access cheaper funding to buy your fuel stations. Into what 100 fuel stations.
You will another front to register an OMC.
To register an OMC. I know so or they call cheap or no. Into or no one person. The only thing I'll be is obey imported crude.
No, I refine it.
No, I refine it. Not then the trucks are coaching. Not the corner fuel station.
OMC.
No, at all. How pay. When it gets to a point, the Ghanaian people can no longer compete. They would all go.
Now, if you are monopolizing.
No, I monopolize it. Or monopolize it. Trust me. It is at that point you would realize that pricing is not downward any longer. It's upwards. Because the capital no the buyer no. The only thing principally a capital would look for is profit. Or any charitable organization, any NGO no be or bad to do business. We are saying that the MPA should ensure. Or more letter no, I said the guy has not asked for any licensing to do haulage business.
Yeah, because maybe the guy has not said say obey haulage business. Maybe he also can argue say me haulage. Me name tracks on you. Ghanaian be na akwa find the tracks aba. And I remember catching how the tracks never the tracks or the aba meet me specifications into me.
These checks have principally been done initially by the NPA. I can put on record. All my checks.
They know what
is in there. And they've also gone a step further to confirm that they are going to keep an eye on these trucks. I am saying someone called them normal, maybe in 1 yard, until you are sure that all tax issues are settled. Until you are sure that indeed, if this truck is actually a Ghanaian own, you will know because Obi in 2016. Local content law, the Ghanaian content.
Of course.
Principally to protect a few Ghanaian businesses within the chain. So, but yeah, everything will not become foreign dominated. See, that there was a foreign company or buyer with money to buy over Goil. It took Goil penny for, and they are buying penny for, to see to the end of that game. So, over 400. Or to no shell total go wait at Nasi. No, almost the Omobe they control 70% of the market. Their stations are in critical communities that you will not find other stations. Into Wokone 40 Ghana a liter or something. One tower can is the
But Duncan, Enra, I think the Honourable Member of Parliament raised a very solid point, sir. Rather than tanker owners union, any year in civil society, the narrative are push it out, no? Why don't we say, listen? Say, share the legal route because these guys and so would pick some of the smartest lawyers in the system to advise on how to go around the loopholes in the system. Ninti, ebi abeko akwhwe obeko Office of the Registrar of Companies. They've almost fulfilling all the requirements. Beneficial owners form almost fail everything we hear so on befill almost fail the call. it is clear say a Ghanaian and the wɔ hɔ sɛ ɔwɔ 51%. Once that is established, Nipo where training at they won't mean because it's established a Ghanaian company. One. And if that is established that now say a clear or tax commitment in area or more crimes on Bayajuma. Why don't the industry say Charlie, send to let's sit down. Say my imagine some of the business nina mat this one company or the 350 trucks abana mobile hiring in the spread it. Na other Ghanaian companies have more capacity no and some put it in bed. Now mon spread the adwumanema yenyina. Would that not be a proper approach?
You see, Obi, very solid points. In fact, you can do legal gymnastics all you want. But again, there's the audit trail.
Yes.
Who manufactured the trucks, who the consignee or the importer is. There's an audit trail. You can't bypass all these things and pretend it's a truck, no? Sorry, somebody negotiated something. That job, I'm told, the NPA has been able to uncover. To normal trucks, that these trucks are not known to them.
Yes.
They are not talking of trucks in the what system anymore. So, any will be find a truck 5 will be in the baby or they be in a juma. I mean, you can ask them for documentation. Yeah. But you are aware of the audit trail of these trucks, and you are aware of the principal agenda, which is to do about 1,200 trucks over a 1-year period. That agenda fits into, say, monopoly or galvanize it towards a monopoly. We are saying that, look, the mere thinking by Central, the refinery itself, say all other depots are doing top and bottom load to allow everybody access.
Bottom load.
Which means that every other truck or top load cannot have access. No? What you are doing effectively, no, is that you are blackening out on people who have been duly licensed by the MPA itself to undertake a certain commercial activity. Maybe your authority, no. Obi, if I was the MPA boss and those trucks will be cordoned off. If they have any plan to sell to another country that has that system, they should sell them off. If they have any plan to also allow the local guys to buy and own them, they should be able to negotiate with that. Principally, we are all aware. So that agenda or smart thinking, in quote, smart. So there's a
to
business
find indirect means to monopolize.
To find backdoor, BB. Obi. Ordinarily, the tanker owner should not even bother discussing these matters. It is a regulatory matter. MPA discussing now. MPA has been firm. What short to Central itself. 2 letters. One to the operators, one to Central. Or your categorical say under no condition. And on this Central would come to that table that says it's a mama license either through a pseudo or a decoy or third party frontman or whatever to do that kind of job, because or a whole desk at the NPA that takes care of what we call UPPF, Unified Petroleum Price Fund, where the movement of products from one point to the other is not only tracked though, but is monitored by the NPA. Suddenly, an entity believes he said, "Oh, nobody me all of that job." Then you would have an issue with the regulator. I am saying to the regulator, I said, "Look, don't even allow this thing to fester. The trucks, park them in a very, open space. Monitor.
We are clear
until you clear all these things as a country. If you don't do them and you allow, Obi, I am promising here, Ochina, we will get a Russian company that has billions, to not only take over the petroleum, but also take over maybe your educational sector. You better schools. Oh, honey, this car, bro. You have schools. You better schools in. You see, essential services like petroleum, you cannot leave it in the hands of, say, a foreign power or entity. That is why I've said other countries, your friend is saying, offshore exploration and production. You talk of billions of dollars. So who to vertically integrate, there will be no operator anywhere.
Who can compete?
And once the 5 people sit in the boardroom and decide say Yenton Petro 50 cities, Abain cannot do FOCO because Abain doesn't control fuel stations. Abain doesn't have the trucks. Abain doesn't have any controlling stake in the refinery. We are saying that the MPA should ensure that Central 1 will do the right thing. So our bottom load, they should not allow, because the local laws do not allow an entity to configure for just the trucks and does not allow. So they should do the right thing. So that sabi kwaku menu koje loan last 2 months. E dey akoto truck mienu a odi ejuma kakra tua banks na. Kwaku menu will not have to pack his trucks because Central is now controlling 50 or 100% of the market and there's no job for the Ghanaian business. It's a very smart thinking. We can read behind that thinking when we are saying as Ghanaians, say yesterday, the regulator should not write this and go to sleep. As much as possible, no for national security in good trucks and so. And ensure that which has not been paid for or that which will be returned immediately or return it so that calm can be restored. The Ghanaian people have, learned over the years how to manage your haulage space. Suddenly, you want to bring somebody who is borrowing at 2% to come and say, "Oh no, wasika into your no 2,000 trucks."
How about those who have said, "Say, send to one refinery or be refining product, and the product will not meet the entire Ghanaian fuel demand. Into the existing haulage companies in the system, can still haul for the BDCs who are still allowed to bring in finished product and also
you see, bro, the truth of the matter. Maybe I know money sent to a plant. The plant is expected to do up to 120,000 barrels or 100,000 barrels
a day.
A day. That is almost what faces.
Yeah.
So that is the plan. Central is not a 45,000 barrel capacity per stream day. No. Ghana does about 96 to 98,000 barrels per stream day. Over time, Central will be able to meet the Ghana market and even demand. Export. And he said, if you can't think through today, and somebody tells you, "Oh, I am telling you here, put this on record. If the NPA does not stamp its foot, comprehensively, over a period of time, that market would not exist for any Ghanaian. They have the financial capacity, they have the resources, and they are bending our own laws to suit our operations. And MPA has been clear. We read the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, AOMC,
yes,
almost statement that they have also been categorical that Central cannot be allowed
to go into the haulage,
to become a law unto themselves. Because the moment Central does that, none of them exist any longer. Macarthur, the original plan, refinery, let's operate
refinery.
You see a haulage.
From haulage,
top 4 stations, you top OMCs, you top 4. Obeti me ato 10 OMCs abomo. Ato 1,000 stations. Suddenly he is supplying, and that will be Chinese capital. Chief, almost anything for free. They have invested in the refineries, okay, but keep your eyes on there to ensure that your laws are not bent in another way.
And rather let the refinery benefit local enterprise. In the haulage sector.
It is all. I don't think that the operators should even waste their time. NPA should ensure, as I said, national security is on there. Ensure the right things are done. But I'm also picking intel, even as I speak with you. Certain high and powerful lawyers are even calling sometimes MPA, people. Momo Mulek, and they should bring this, Things that they should go through procedurally, bending laws,
to favor
them. That Copec would never be in support of. Obi, and OMs is near no. In fact, haulage companies near do if they are wrong, we'll tell them. But in this instance, if you can see through game we see refinery bottom load. We imported trucks to feed that bottom load. Or out. The next thing, or top fuel stations just to feed or no product, no produce.
Last Friday, me church room, and I told Ghanaians, say in seminar, don't isolate the issues. Try and connect the dots. It was all connectivity. You see the bigger picture and the agenda behind
what is
going on. And that agenda, there was a Magan and Nibia set up and who say, hey, we are always for FDI or mobile. And that's one thing we don't do well. Into Yebeko ako pushi I pitchy or minor ama generated that interest in foreign investors. They would come to Ghana. Once they get here, and foreign capital they about ono pay easy way or the be fem yes,
and principally at the end of the year obe accounted back for that capital. Your CD would never recover because Afeno was a half yearly, no?
Yes.
So near $200 million, return.
Yes.
He has to change the money.
Of course.
And send back.
Of course. Now, it is a nipane bar. And then I love that point, Honorable Member of Parliament, when the investor gets into Ghana, police the process well. Make sure, say law, say what subsector we munia. Let them go according to the law. Or we are. See, Ghana, why not just be repatriating, no? Give him way and tell him, say, my friend, how you are not repatriating 100%.
You can do 40 or 20.
Do 40.
Every year
20.
we can allow you 20.
Absolute 80 now I can invest in another sector. So you diversify, create more jobs and all of that. Investor in be drew Ghana happy. We've ticked the box. Yama investor aba no be that is where the issue is.
It is not a Chinese person as I feel no Ghana.
Yeah, here he's in steel, he's in ceramics.
Company he bought it. So what observe our system, no?
Yes.
Well, who where loopholes exist and would simply play to his advantage. The only thing is for MPA to be up and doing. The only thing is for the business people to be up and doing. The only thing is for the Ghanaian to wake up and not sit and watch after 2 years. We won't have this conversation again, no, because by then, no, now a matrix I call 360 a C. He now, as I speak with you, Ujaina, or better OMCs, and they're very simple. There are OMCs in Ghana, unya 20 million Ghana cedis crowd less than $2 million. Into unya $200 million, betumua.
I took Kwame now YouTube show. Say Obi, don't Shell, BP, and Total oil companies have full vertical integration. They control from drilling to retail. Please, not in Ghana. If other countries be are fine, not in Ghana. In Ghana, vertical integration said Duncan kind is not allowed. In the you cannot. Now say Sadi and Gatalo for my in Alpha.
Now you see the catcher no catcher to say Shell, Total, and other principles. Up until the local content law nearby, no. In fact, the mining space was exclusive preserved for them.
Sure.
Why? Your mining companies were mostly foreign.
Yes.
They would prefer to deal with
a foreign company.
Get it all.
Yeah.
Until Afeni Besono, they would have made a lot of boom or profit.
Yeah.
Pacho, on your profit now, on your Ghana, it would have to go back to principles. Yeah. Now, local content insists that the mining fuel supply
should be for Ghanaian companies.
And so the Ghanaian businesses are doing them. Go Munyan and the Muyebi. Which
and
is
Minerals Commission boss Nebaha, and I love his passion for this conversation. Obaha, $300 million fuel. And imagine all of this money staying in Ghana with Ghanaian companies. And that is the whole idea. And I think once we've succeeded in the mining sector, we should replicate same and make sure that we enforce it. That's where the MPA would have to take some way from the Minerals Commission on how to enforce these things and make sure. Absolutely.
We have the law.
The law
it is not as if it doesn't exist. The law says
the enforcement,
for you to go into the retail subsector of Ghana, it must be Ghanaian 100. Sure. It's not even 51. Yes. 100. Haulage 100. So you cannot tell me Sesabe Obi Sika na akoto truck no, but Obi and a Ghanaian. And the Obi to do work and pay. Work and pay on what terms? Sika hen on family at the end of the month, at the end of the year. Sika no bejeje no a truck for Sika na bejeje. To be able to go and pay a principal sitting somewhere in another country. Something Obi call ABA commercial banker. And be paying commercial bank. Commercial bank will be able to pay their workers. The workers will be able to feed their family. This money would now have to go back to a foreign bank. You want to kill your economy. That commanding highs of your economy, Obi. The energy space is one of them. Your power plants, I'm not sure how many of them are fully Ghanaian owned. So that sector, one of the issues that. Billion, 1 point something billion. You see, it is also because because local plants now VRA operating are also working. But assuming they had 100% integration, they sit 5 of them in a room. No, turn it off, you would all be in darkness. The same thing will happen in petroleum if MPA, the AOMC do not wake up. And so I'm telling MPA, say yesterday, as civil society will keep our eyes there to ensure that refinery no be even the refinery, we should not allow our laws to be turned inside out so that or no bottom load into a truck and then bottom load that you don't have anything to and yet good for the economy.
Duncan, my men say I think the conversation will continue in the BBNia.
And so there was a text message that suggested that tour Ghana government in Ethiopia when
that's is it Ajib is the company
let's correct
okay
these were foreign finance.
Okay.
Ghana government had no controlling stake. A GAIP, almost for me, a holding company called GAIP, Ghana Italian Petroleum.
Sure.
But it was ENI completely that funded
it. Oh, so meaning said the honorable MP
right.
The honorable MP was right.
Yeah, he was right.
Into test nearby because I think Edwin sent that test.
It wasn't funded.
Not Edwin test. They say Obi, it's not true that Tor belonged to Ajib and was nationalized by Ghana. Or say it was funded by Ghana with a technical support from Ajib. The original name was GAIP, meaning Ghana Italian Petroleum. Yes. When now can say it's not factual.
It cannot be fully factual. Okay. The funding proper was not Ghanaian. Nkrumah had nothing to pay. They built it completely owned by the ENI. Over time, in the 70s.
Sure.
I have all of that history here. The rude awakening from the point of nationalization onwards, the refinery would not see any serious renovation or capacity boost until 1989. Even then, it was widely recognized that capacity expansion and blah, blah, blah. In 1963, when the 7-year development plan was launched, several state-run industrial concerns were placed on a list for capacity expansion. Drew baby na cool no course no. A champion musi yentua no. These foreign investors clearly. Kaiser Valco. Akosombo. Kaiser had to fund Akosombo fully. Ghana government didn't have to shell out or do anything. Tor had a similar arrangement that the ENI company, funded Tor completely.
Very well. Duncan, that's it. Papa. But Duncan Amoy, Executive Director, Edema Copec, Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana.
Of which you are a member.
Oh, strong member. But Duncan, you're telling Ghana, because he's saying, "Hi, Sempai FM." Mama.